In today's video, I'll show you how to get up to $70,000 worth of credit lines. And the best part is that the majority don't even do a credit check. And if they do, they really don't care if you have bad credit. I know this kind of sounds like clickbait, but stick around and I'll show you how. What's up, winners? My name is Nam. If you're new here, welcome. Here we talk all things personal finance and credit. Start now by subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. There are companies out there that are on the web that provide primary credit lines or trade lines that range anywhere from $5,000 to $18,000. Typically, these companies will charge you an annual fee, and it may require you to purchase something from their website and get it financed before they can give you a credit line. There are only a few reasons on why you would want to work with some of these companies. One, if you have bad credit or trying to repair credit. And two, if you're trying to get your credit utilization low, so it'll be easier for you to get access to even more credit. If you look at the FICO scoring model, roughly 30% of your credit score is your credit utilization. The higher your credit limit is, the easier it is to keep a low credit utilization where you're trying to rebuild or build credit. But either way, I would not say these are long-term solutions, but it can definitely give you access to more available credit, so it is easy for you to get more traditional credit lines. Because when you really think about it, when a lender or a creditor sees that you can handle more available credit, you're less risky during the underwriting process. I have seen some individuals who have anywhere from 50 to 100 point increase just by adding additional credit lines. So enough of me talking, let me give you guys some gems right now. The first company that I will be talking about will be a company called My Jewelers Club. Whenever you hop on this website, it looked like it was built back in 2008. The platform does look pretty dated. So this company is my first mention because I've read on many forums that a lot of people have had luck of getting instant $5,000 credit lines. Let me break this down and give you a brief overview of how this all works. This is great for people who have no lines of credit or even bad credit. So once you apply and get approved, you can instantly get a $5,000 unsecured revolving line of credit. But the thing about this card is that it's very similar to a store card where you can only use this credit line on their website. There will be some minimums that you need to meet before applying though. You need to be a US citizen, over 18 years old, have a social security number, and you have to have a monthly income of at least $1,400. So to actually get started, you would have to make a minimum purchase of $100 of one of their top quality products. You would also be required to put down a down payment of at least 50% of your order total, and you would also have to pay their annual fee, which is $99. Since this company will be giving you an unsecured line of credit, they will do a hard inquiry on your credit. They did not say which bureau that they would pull from, but they still would have to verify your identity and still see your credit worthiness. But honestly, from what I read, your credit score does not have to be good to get approved. Once you get approved, you get a new card in the mail within the next 30 to 60 days. Then typically around 30 to 60 days, this information will get reported to the credit bureaus and you should see a bump to your credit score since you have more access to credit. Now let's keep it moving with our second company, which is New Coast Direct. This website is very similar to My Jewelers Club. Their online store does seem pretty outdated with a lot of non-brand name items. You can buy anything from home and garden, sporting goods, electronics, and also jewelry. Similar to the previous company, you can get approved for an unsecured credit line for up to $5,000. So to apply, the criteria is pretty similar to My Jewelers Club. You have to be at least 18 years or older, be a US citizen, have a social security number, previous credit history, and make at least $1,600 a month. So to get started with this, you have to place an order of at least $100, pay at least half of it, and there will be an annual fee of $95. They say that the minimum monthly payment will be at least $40 or 5% of the balance, whichever is greater. Aside from that, if you have no balance at all, then you would have no monthly payments. And this company also reports to all three of the credit bureaus on a monthly basis. Now let's keep it moving with our third company, which is National Credit Direct. This company is pretty similar to New Coast Direct, just a slight name change, but the products are actually a little bit better. For instance, you could buy the original Apple AirPods with the charging case for only $30 a month for 13.3 months. That is a steal. I mean, from their end, that total will cost you around $400. But anyways, I would just recommend buying something cheaper of what you can afford just to get that credit line. The way this company broke down of how the program works is with a nifty infographic. There's no turn downs. Even if you have bad credit, a bankruptcy, divorce, or unpaid bills, you can get a guaranteed approval. I think this is the only one on the list that mentions a guarantee for approval. All you got to do to get started is to buy something, apply for credit, then just finance it. Your monthly payment for the first purchase is only $29.99, and all new accounts will require a small down payment of no more than $50. You should expect an out-of-pocket cost roughly around $80 at first, then afterwards there will be an annual fee of $49. Also, something that you would have to be aware of with this company is that there is no grace period for interest. Typically with most credit cards, when you put a balance on it, you would have 30 days to pay it off. With this company, they don't do that. Whenever your item ships, this is when you will start accruing interest. Depending on what your creditworthiness is, this will determine your rate. Now let's talk about how high of a credit line that you can actually get. On their website, they said that the credit line starts at $500, but from what I read and seen online, you can get as high as a $5,000 credit line. Now let's keep it moving with our fourth company, which is Credit Strong. This one is going to be a little bit different compared to the other three because this is not a revolving line of credit similar to a credit card, but this will be an installment loan. Having different credit mixes plays about 10% of your credit score. Generally, individuals who have an excellent credit score usually have at least one installment loan and at least 3 to 5 credit cards to their name. If you are an individual who's new to credit or trying to rebuild credit, and if you never had an installment loan before, this could be a good way to have a good credit mix. So in a nutshell, how Credit Strong works is like a mix between a secure loan and a savings account. So let's just say that you get approved for a loan for $1,000. But once you get approved, the $1,000 does not get paid to you right away. Instead, this $1,000 get placed into a savings account with your name and it is locked. Depending on the terms of the loan, whether it is 1 or 2 years, you will just continue to make monthly payments until the loan is fully paid off. Once the loan has been paid in full, this is when you get access to your savings account and you can pull out the $1,000. Hopefully this was not too confusing and it makes sense. The interest rates for each one of these loans can range anywhere between 5.8% all the way up to 14%. You can have monthly payments as low as $15 all the way up to $200. With these loans, they can be as high as $18,000 and the payments can be all the way up to 10 years. Honestly, from my point of view, I don't think that you should go for anything longer than 5 years. I would prefer anything between 1 to 3 years. Because when you really think about it, most car loans, they range anywhere between 3 to 6 years. And if you are investing your money into a savings account for over 10 years, your money is going to be worth much less in the future and you're going to be paying more in interest. So it just really depends on what kind of installment loan that you want. I recommend whatever your finances and budget can handle, then just go from there. Another thing to know is that this loan will be amortized, meaning that your early payments will be more in interest compared to the principal. The principal is the actual money that you do owe, and the interest is what the company makes on their end. This is very similar to how a mortgage works. There was a question that I had, but I could not find anywhere on the website, so I had to ask them through a chat. My question was, what happens if you're halfway through this loan and you can no longer make payments or you wanted to cancel? If you were unable to make payments, it is highly recommended to cancel rather than paying late, because paying late will get reported to the credit bureaus, and late payments are no bueno to your credit score. If you do decide to cancel, this will go ahead and close your account and it will get reported to the credit bureaus as paid and closed, which do not have any negative marks on your credit report. Whatever money that you put in, which is the principal, you will get that money back minus the interest that you would have to pay. So now let's go over the application process. Even though this will be a savings account, there will be no upfront security deposit, no hard inquiry, or check on your credit score. You can also qualify for this if you have a social security number or an ITIN. Generally, since the requirements are so low, they just need to verify who you say you are, and you just gotta have a checkings account. I imagine they would probably take a look at your banking history to determine your eligibility, but it did not state this anywhere on the website. Now let's talk about eligibility. There are a few states that will not allow you to use this company, such as North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Vermont. Now let's keep it moving with our next company, which is Shopinpo. This company is kind of similar to the previous ones that I mentioned before because they sell cheap, crappy products that are overpriced. Honestly, I think this is just dropship stuff that's made from China. None of the items on this website is name brands at all. Like, check out this AirPods case for 2 easy payments of $10.50. You can get this on Amazon for about $11 or so. I understand that people can care less about the products and more about the credit line, but come on, man, you can buy anything on this website for a fraction of the price on eBay. But nonetheless, you can still get an easy approval either you have bad credit or no credit at all. They state on their website that you can get to $8,500 of an unsecured revolving line of credit within 72 hours. But based off my research, it seems like they only report Equifax and they only report months where you have balances. So you kind of have to keep buying stuff from them at least every 2 months or so, because if not, they won't report any of those zero balances. Now let's keep it moving with our next company, which is Hud and Chase. This company actually sells name brand stuff compared to the earlier ones that I mentioned. Still, of course, the products here are still overpriced, but again, it's meant to be financed so you can build credit and get a higher credit line. After reviewing a couple items from their website, they carry brands from Dolce & Gabbana, George Foreman, and Brentwood appliances. Since there are things there that are well known, but there's a lot of stuff on there that you may have never heard of. Now let's move on more about the nitty gritty about this company. They will give you a $1,500 line of credit if you decide to sign up as a member. They do require you to make a purchase of at least $150 every 6 months, and this is supposed to establish your line of credit. Every time you make your payments on time, this information then get reported to the credit bureaus. It is also reported if there are no purchases within a 6-month time frame, you'll be charged a $20 membership fee just to keep this account open and active. But this information does not get reported to the credit bureaus. But that's kind of like the whole point of getting a credit line, because you need them to be open and reportable. So purchasing items is kind of similar to an annual fee, but the main difference is that you get something in exchange. On top of everything else, there's also a $30 activation fee. If you do decide to go with Hud and Chase, this company does report to Equifax and TransUnion. Now let's keep it moving with company number 7, which is Ox Publishing. This company is also owned by the same people who run Hud and Chase. If you take a look at their website, the CEO is the exact same person. With Ox Publishing, you can receive a $2,500 line of credit, but it only reports to Equifax. It is also reported that you can get a second line of credit up to $2,500, meaning that you can get a total of $5,000 line of credit. Similar to most of the other stores, you would have to finance part of your initial purchase, then you would just have to pay off in monthly payments, and then that information gets reported to credit bureaus. Their website looks like it was built back in 2001. All of the purchases and things they sell here are pretty awful. I think it's just stuff that couldn't make it to Amazon. It is reported that you have to spend at least $180 on your first purchase and pay up to $75 once you open. Now let's talk more about how the fees work, because I had to do a little bit of a deep dive since it can be a little bit complicated. After you pay off that initial $150, they will charge you a $20 maintenance fee just to keep this account open. You would also have to make a $100 purchase every 6 months, and if you don't, they will charge you $25 just to keep this line open. Once you pay off that initial $150, if you do not make another purchase or pay the maintenance fee, then this account will just get closed. Alright, so let's move on to our next company, which is called Get That Jewelry. This was a very interesting choice in choosing a business name. As the name sounds, you can finance men's watches and women's jewelry. But now let's move to the nitty gritty of this credit line. There are 2 memberships that you can apply for. There's one where you can get $10,000 and another one where you can get $7,500 worth of credit. When you do sign up for the membership, you get a revolving line of credit that report to all 3 of the credit bureaus. It is also reported that they only provide positive credit history only, and no line ever gets reported late. Essentially, you are just paying for a membership just to keep a credit line open. There are no requirements for you to buy any type of jewelry if you don't want to. To get started, there will be a one-time enrollment fee, which also includes your first monthly fee. Then after that, there will be a monthly fee that will be due 30 days from the date of enrollment. Also, to be a part of this membership, no credit check is needed. As an added bonus, you can actually get 2 lines of credit. On their website, they said that you can have one revolving line of credit and the other one will be an installment line of credit. So as a reminder, you're just paying a fee to show that you have a high credit line. Now let's keep it moving with company number 9, which is Self. This company is very similar to Credit Strong, but there are some key differences that make me like this company so much more. Self is the company that offers secure loans. Whenever you get approved, Self will hold on to this money and you would just make payments until the balance is paid off. From what I saw on their website, you can get a loan up to $1,800 and you would just make monthly payments of $150 for the next 12 months. When it's all said and done, after this company takes their interest, you get roughly around $1,663. The interest rate for this type of loan is very similar to Credit Strong, it's just a tad bit higher, closer to 15%. But where this company really shines is that they give you ability to get a secure credit card. This is a major game changer compared to Credit Strong. With Credit Strong, you get no access to the money whatsoever until you pay that account off or you decide to close it. With Self, after 3 months of making on-time payments and having enough savings of $100 or more, you can use this as a security deposit towards a card and use it like a regular credit card. Let's just say that you have enough savings that comes out to be $300. You can then take $200 from that savings and add it to a secure credit card, and then that will be your credit line. Now, when you start using this card and start making purchases to pay it off, this will too get reported to the credit bureaus. According to Self, with the credit building installment loan and also the secure credit card, they both get reported to all 3 of the credit bureaus. This is a great combination because anyone who has excellent credit usually has a mix between installment loans and also revolving lines of credit. So rather than having your money tied up into a savings account until you pay it off, you can actually start using some of that money today and use it like a regular credit card. Now let's keep it moving with company number 10, which is Leaseville. On their website, you can purchase all different types of things such as cell phones, gym equipment, and other appliances. Just like the previous companies that I mentioned before, you would have to buy a product and then get it financed. So to get started, all you would have to do is apply and then you would have an instant decision. According to their website, they don't require you to have any form of credit and you can also have bad credit as well. All they need from you is that you need to have a job that makes at least $1,200 a month and an active bank account that's in good standing. So what this company really reminds me of is those rent-to-own places that were super popular in the late 90s to the early 2000s. Again, I would not recommend buying something not as expensive, so you won't be charged as much in interest when you are financing. So when it's all said and done, applying for any one of these companies will give you a bump on your available credit, and this will have a significant impact on your credit score. Whenever you get that bump to your credit score, this is when I would try to get a regular line of credit from normal banks such as Chase, Wells Fargo, creditors such as American Express, or any of the other ones out there. All of these companies are just meant for short-term improvements, and I would not recommend financing or staying with one of these companies for an extended period of time. Unless you're doing some sort of installment loan, but again, I would try to avoid any type of loan greater than 3 years. If you guys haven't already, make sure you give this video a like because that really helps support the channel. I'll see you guys in my next videos.